Hey, this is V, and you're listening to Bite Size Book Reviews. I've just finished reading God Touched by John Conroe. This is the first book of an urban fantasy series. The main character, Chris Gordon, is a police officer in New York City, although he also works on the side as an exorcist and a demon hunter. Like when he was little, he discovered that he had the unique ability to identify and get rid of demons with, well, I guess relatively minimal risk to himself as long as he's doing it well. And you kind of discover through the course of the story that these skills are both invaluable and incredibly, unbelievably rare. Like, typically speaking, things like really dangerous hauntings and possessions and demons and stuff are something that people have a lot of trouble handling and can often be extremely risky if you are someone who is not him. But he's also I guess naturally kind of shielded from things like demons, hence like the name of the book, because a lot of his priest friends think that his abilities come from him being God touched, but he's not a very religious person himself and doesn't really have a great relationship with God, since he blames this ability for a lot of problems in his life and also for the deaths of his family when he was younger. So this story is kind of like an induction into the magical world type story for Chris, except that he comes at it from a magical background already, just of a more limited type. Like, he rescues a girl from a demon attack when he's with his friends at a nightclub, and he discovers that the girl is in fact a vampire, and this is like his first introduction to non-demon supernatural beings, I guess, that exist in the world. And it turns out there's a whole host of them. Like, there isn't a lot of, this type of story, and he begins to learn about them and they begin to learn about him. And I guess through the course of these events, his relationship with the vampire that he saved begins to change, like, a lot of aspects of his life, and well, more than that, really. So let's see. Something I liked. I think as far as this type of story goes, it was a relatively relaxing read. Like, a lot of times you get, a lot of annoying political-ish things when you deal a lot with vampires and werewolves and stuff like that. But I think the story handled those kinds of situations and introductions in I won't say it's like stress-free, but it's relatively unstressful, primarily I guess because they made the main character like he's both relatively powerful in their general hierarchy of supernatural things. His partner or girlfriend, I guess, is also really high up in their hierarchy, and he tends to take supernatural things really in stride because of his history with demons, and I think all of that adds up to there being relatively little, like, posturing and backstabbing, that kind of tension, I guess, and I appreciate that for this type of story. Something I did not like. Chris has kind of kept people at arm's length through most of his life because he's like afraid of getting them involved with the demon stuff, but the story decides to make him like really, really bad at reading other people and like gauging like how they feel, and he often makes assumptions about how they'll probably feel about him. Like, he's convinced that everyone thinks he's really freaky, even though, like, I don't actually understand why. But I think the fact that he's that bad at handling relations with other people starts to like, it makes him do and say and react sometimes in ways that aren't very bright.